Hello everyone, this is Xephyr here, and welcome back to Monster Hunter World Iceborne on PC. Today we're going to be finishing up our crown quests. At least, I hope so. We actually have 3 quests to do today instead of just 2, because in my efforts to get my mini crown for Nightshade Paolumu, which was the last crown I needed from the Heavy Metal in the Waste, I was getting sick of running Heavy Metal in the Waste over and over, because it takes about 15-16 minutes per run. And when there's only one monster I was trying to get a crown for, and a singular crown for it, I figured I might as well try and just do hunts with Nightshade Paolumu. And I happened to stumble upon a quest that guarantees a mini crown Nightshade Paolumu. Go figure. Normally I don't like doing event quests off camera if I haven't done them before, unless they are one of those quests that's just 2 standard monsters that give extra master rank or hunter rank or armor spheres, because, I mean, those quests are nothing special. If they don't give anything real special, like a special ticket or something like that, I don't mind doing them off camera. I didn't record them for a reason, because it would have just been a lot of fluff content that wasn't really important, because it wouldn't have been anything new. However, I like doing things like crown quests and stuff like that, because they do have a special thing to them. Similar to the tickets, it's just crowns instead of a tangible crafting material. You're getting a high chance at the crowns you need for your guild card. So I probably thought the quest was just a standard kind of like, oh, fight a Nightshade Paolumu in this thing and you get extra, like, silver eggs or gold eggs or something. But it happens that it was a guaranteed mini crown. So we're going to be doing that quest as well. So I do apologize. Like I said, I don't like doing those things off camera, but I didn't know. I thought it was just a standard quest. I didn't think it was anything special. So that's my bad. So we'll go ahead and do that. I only ran it once, so it's not like you missed out on much, and you're going to see what the quest is today. But I do prefer to show rather than to tell when it comes to this stuff. So again, I apologize for screwing that up. But on top of that, we have 2 more normal crown quests to take on today as well. So that's the goal for this video. So if we go into events here, it is Paolumu Lullabies. So the client's the little helpful feline. The Admiral and Chef managed to capture a Nightshade Paolumu, but something seemed awfully off. I didn't mention anything to those 2, but perhaps you could take a look, Meowster. So, like, it doesn't say anything about the rewards or anything, and every time a quest has come out that has given a ticket or something special, we've taken them on. So that's why I did not think this was going to be anything special and thought nothing of it. But now that I, like, really pay attention to the description of the quest, I kind of should have known there was something going on here. But it's not too big of a deal. We'll just do it now. Like I said, I just don't like doing that stuff off camera the first time. I prefer to do all that stuff on camera. So we're going to just take the meat platter. This should be very quick. I thought I restocked. Maybe I didn't. Oh, I must not have. Oopsies. I meant to. Oh well. Should be fine. So as you can see, it's a cute, tiny Nightshade Paolumu. I don't know if it's actually going to hit the wall because it's so tiny. It might not go far enough. It didn't. Oops. And it's already enraged. Oopsies. It's so cute though. I love how tiny it is. But yeah, it was totally a mistake. It kind of made me question myself. I was like, should I really not be doing all event quests? But honestly, like, I'm glad I don't just do all the event quests, because some of them, I'm not kidding, it would just be totally fluff content. It'd be no different than when we were going through and doing all of the low rank, high rank, and master rank basic quests, because like most of the event quests are just like, oh, fight these 2 monsters. There's nothing special about them, but if you beat the quest, you'll get, you know, extra master rank points. Like, there's no reason for me to burn through all those, because again, there's nothing special about them. It would just be kind of honestly boring videos at that point. But the unfortunate thing with not doing all event quests and skipping things like that is stuff like this happens, where I do find a quest that was something special that we just missed, and I then have to be like, oh yeah, I know I normally show you all this stuff, but I accidentally didn't realize it was something special, and now I have to tell you that I did it and then show it to you the next time. It's not too big of a deal, I just don't like it. So, but I do think I did things the right way, not just doing a bunch of fluff events. Oh crap, of course this would wear off. That's gonna hurt. Oh, I missed. Haha! Except he knocked me back into it. He knocked me back into the sleep gas. I'm lucky it didn't affect me again. Little floof bat. Oh, I'm glad that does damage. Come on. No. And if you haven't noticed, this Nightshade Palumu also hits harder than a normal one. It's not like crazy, but it does definitely hit harder. And I do know that this video is coming out sooner than I expected. I expected to be doing the Rise demo, the version 2 at least, first, but I am pretty tired because I worked out after work again, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to take on an obscenely difficult, overtuned quest until I'm like rested and feeling like 100%. And I know that whenever there is a beta or a demo where they add an extra quest, it's always overly difficult. I mean, think back to just the ones that I've covered on my channel. These aren't even all of them, because they did this with previous Monster Hunter games as well. But just talking about the ones I have on the channel. Nergigante. Actually, I think I streamed that back in the day, not put it on the channel. By the way, Nergigante, Velkhana, added to the world beta and the Iceborne beta. They give you less time, and the monsters are actually... I don't know if they actually make the monsters stronger than how they are in the game, or if it's just we're using such crap gear in the demos that they're just super difficult, but I just know this third quest is going to be tough. And I talked about that in the last video. It's probably not going to be easy at all. So I want to wait until I feel 100% before I take that on, because I have a feeling it's going to take quite a bit of effort. So as you can see there, I know I went through it quickly, but there were just standard Nightshade Palumu materials, some like silver and gold eggs, and then some armor spheres. There's nothing special about this quest other than you're guaranteed a mini crown Nightshade Palumu. But I just wanted to show that off, because if you didn't know and you need a mini crown for Nightshade Palumu, that's a quest to do for it. That means that now I have all of the crowns for both Yodeling in the Forest and Heavy Metal in the Waste. So Making progress. I have a lot more to do still, but that has been decent progress. My hope is to stream a bit this weekend, just farming crowns. It's the other reason I wanted to get this video done today, is so that I can just start grinding out crowns in the days to come. So the next one we have is... Oh, I think I named that. I put up the video for the Crown Quests of Symphony of the Coral and Rotten Can Zone, and I think I named the video wrong, because I think I called it Coral Symphony when it's Symphony of the Coral. Whatever, I can always edit it later, but it's just funny to see that now. Granted, that makes for an extremely long video title. This is probably my favorite title for a quest, the Alt Rock Recess. That's pretty awesome. Once again, we've only got 3 monsters in this list that we still need crowns for sure, because Azure Rathalos and Uragan would be done from base world. Bonboro is gonna suck to fight. Uragan, I never like fighting Uragan. I don't dislike the monster, but he's not fun to fight. Brachydios is a blast, and that's not meant to be a pun, but I guess it's a funny one nonetheless. And Seething Basil Geese isn't too bad. Azure Rathalos also isn't bad, so this should be a good time. Let's just start at the southern camp. That should be fine. No, not custom. Let's just do meat. This is the fastest way. I was doing, I mentioned this in the last video even. I was just, doing custom and then choosing the 6 meats I wanted to give me specific feline skills. But honestly, I don't really need the feline skills either, and it's way faster to just choose meat platter. Because all I really want is the attack up large. If I was doing a gourmet voucher, I would absolutely be pickier about which meats I was choosing. I would go custom platter. But if for these things where literally it's just all I'm really worried about is the attack up large, I just take the meat platter because it's quicker. I know it's not the best strategy, and a lot of people might be gasping in feeling a bit upset about it. I know people hate when players choose the chef's platter, and I get it, because you're not utilizing the system the way you should be, but it's not that big a deal. Oh, this is some crap right here. So that could be that's either a small Brachydios or a giant Bombero. And I'm thinking it's a giant Bombero. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I think Brachy is probably one of the #1 monsters I really want to be in Rise. I really hope he's back. I freaking love this monster. You know what? I was just thinking a moment ago, I should have switched out the immunity mantle, but now we're fighting Brachy? Kinda glad I have it. I should have done the claw attack. Oh well. I love Brachy. He's so cool. Though I do remember the nightmare that was Raging Brachydios in 4 Ultimate. Dear Lord. Raging Brachy back then, he was a lot worse than... oh crap, I did that way early. He was a lot worse than he was in Iceborne. I don't think he was... I know a lot of people had trouble with Raging Brachy even in Iceborne, but compared to his 4 Ultimate rendition, Raging Brachy was like nothing. And part of that is because in 4 Ultimate, when Raging Brachy had the glowing slime, if you hit it, it would just explode. There was no, it falls on the ground and then just explodes quicker than normal. It literally would explode while on his body, and it wouldn't hurt him, it would only hurt you. And so it made it very, very difficult to fight it, because sometimes you'd be in the you'd be going to attack, and then all of a sudden one of his pieces would turn red, and you'd hurt yourself. It took a lot of patience and strategy, and it was a pain. I do think the changes for Iceborne were smart, because it made the hunt a lot more fair, but at the same time, I do think, I mean, I had almost, I shouldn't even say almost, I had no problem with Raging Bracky. The only issue I had with Raging Bracky was getting the Immortal Reactor, because he just didn't want to drop one. But other than that, he was not difficult. And that's not to say that, like, he's easy, it's just that, like, I expected him to be much harder, and I didn't struggle at all. He was one of those monsters, though, that if you even made a tiny mistake, you would die. Because, well, faint. I'm sorry. Faint, not die. But you would be knocked unconscious pretty darn quick if you were not careful with him, because he did so much damage. But overall, because of how much slower he was, as long as you were careful, he was not bad. Still, though, no, a lot of people have issues with Raging Bracky. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's just, you know, I've hunted Brachydios a lot over the years because he's one of my favorite monsters, and so I think it's just more that it's people that stupid Vespoids. It might be people who aren't used to hunting him, maybe, because he does have some attacks that will throw you for a loop with his kind of like drifting, using his pounders and all that, but I don't know. I have more issues with Glavenus' stupid sidesteps than Bracky's little drifts, I guess is what I'll call them. Alright, Bombero, you're next. Just probably for the better, because you like to get in the way of pretty much every hunt in the game, and it's annoying. Well, that was just rude. It's also rude. All right, I'm full. One of the other reasons I don't mind waiting a little bit to do the Rise demo is because, unlike the Iceborne and World betas, we're not on a timer. The betas for Iceborne and World, literally there was like a specific window of days and time, like from the time of one day to the time of like a few days later, that the beta was available. Whereas Rise, as long as you don't use up all your tries, you have access to it. So it's not like I have to be in a rush or anything to do it. I don't know what just happened there, but... Oh, he walked into Shadow's little attack there. Just happened to break his stagger threshold. But yeah, so I don't have to be in a rush to do the... Oh, you're weak already? I don't have to be in a rush to do the demo. That's all I'm saying. And you're dead. Man, Bombero really is pathetic during multi-monster quests. Well, I guess Uragan's next. Oh, hello. Oh god! Why? So I had talked about possibly branching out and using more weapons in Rise. And I mean, obviously I'm always going to main longsword. Like the primary weapon that we'll see and I'll use will definitely be the longsword, because it's just what I have the most fun with. It's what I enjoy the most. It's my weapon of choice. Hence main. But I do really want, I think, to try out dual blades and gun lance, because just from doing the arena and stuff, I had a lot of fun using those weapons. And so I do think if I'm going to branch out and try and learn any other weapon, those are probably the two that I'm going to want to learn. So I don't know, it's going to come down to how I'm feeling once the game's out and I'm playing it, but do probably expect to see some dual blades and gun lance on top of longsword and bow. I know I don't think I've used bow at all in Jesus. I don't think I've used bow at all in Iceborne, but I would still say it's my secondary weapon. If for some reason I was told today, hey, you can never use longsword again, or removing it from the game, I would probably fall back on bow until I settled on something else. Luckily, they're not going to remove longsword because it's the most popular weapon. But still, bow just... I like having a melee option and a ranged option, so I guess if someone did tell me tomorrow longsword's removed from the game, you can't use longsword, maybe I wouldn't switch right to bow, just because that would be my ranged option. I'd still have to come up with a new melee. And honestly, right now, I'm thinking it would be dual blades. I like gun lance a lot. But man, when I played dual blades, I was absolutely surprised how much fun it was. I did not expect that. I'm not usually a dual wielder in any game. I prefer either sword and board or two-handing a one-handed weapon, because I like to be quick and agile while also being able to output decent damage. So hence why I end up with longsword and Monster Hunters, because it's a quick and agile weapon while also having high attack power. It just fits my playstyle very, very well. Alright, off to the next monster. Oh, is he up above? Oh, well there's Basil Geese, so let's go fight Basil Geese. Or is it Bagel Juice? Or Bagel Goose? I don't know. People call it whatever. I know the actual pronunciation is Basil Geese, but I like the other funny names people give it. Where did it go? I saw it! It flew this way, didn't it? Poop. I don't know where it went. Scout flies, guide me. Did it just go a weird direction to go somewhere? Oh, there it is. Okay, that was a weird way to get over here. Whatever. Let's go, B-52 bomber. Bring it. Actually, I don't... What did it say again? B-52? I don't know. I don't know enough about planes. But the fact that this thing basically drops nukes now is different. I think B-52 bomber is what people referred to original Basil Geese as. Do they call it something different now that it has nukes? This monster's so cool. This is another monster that I really hope, even if it's just the normal version, not the seething version, but I really hope Basil Geese makes it into Rise, because it's just so cool, and I actually like having more invading monsters that, you know, are like Devil Joe level. I remember in World on PS4, so this would have been well before I was recording PC and putting the videos up on the channel. So, okay, let's start with kind of the history of invading monsters. I think it started with Try. I think Try was the first one to really have these invading monsters. Because Devil Joe was the first. But it used to be that there was a quest in, like, right at the beginning of High Rank, where you'd be going out to do something simple, like slay 10 Jagia or something like that. And when you arrived at the area where the Jagia were, you'd have a cutscene, and Devil Joe would show up. And it was the coolest thing because you're like, what the heck is that? And then you go to fight it because you're like, well, it's here, so I might as well deal with it. And it just, like, beats the ever-living crap out of you because you're not ready for it at all. You just got out of low rank. You can't take on this massive threat that you're not even going to fight until the end of high rank. And, man, in Try, Devil Joe didn't have an actual quest to hunt it until the, like, literally the, I think it was the final star rank, so what 6 stars or something like that in high rank? Oops, that's my bad, because I'm talking and not focusing, but, yeah, so it was crazy to run into it that early, but it was cool. Like, it was this new invading monster mechanic, and it really gave Devil Joe, like, this feeling of you, like, you feared the thing, and it would show up all throughout high rank, specifically when fighting Kurapeko. Kurapeko would summon the stinking thing all the time, and it just annoyed the living heck out of people. But I remember in base world, when I had just gotten into high rank, I went out on an expedition for something, and I saw one of Basil Geese's scales, and this was before I even knew what Basil Geese was, because I just got into high rank. And I was like, what the heck is that? And then out of nowhere, it dive-bombed me, and holy crap, was that cool. And it was super reminiscent of the old-school Devil Joe quests, because I just wasn't expecting it, I wasn't ready for it, I had never seen this monster before, I didn't know what it could do, and then just out of nowhere, it comes crashing down on me in the ancient forest. Oh, it was amazing. And I really hope Rise keeps something like that. I mean, it's less of a surprise nowadays because, you know, it's been many, many games since Try. I believe in Portable Third, it was maybe Zinogre. That one had a different invading monster mechanic. Because it basically told you at the end of a quest, oh, there's a warning, there's a monster invading. So I don't remember if Portal Third had a Devil Joe quest similar to Try, where he'd show up in, like, the first quest of high rank and scare the crap out of you. But 3 Ultimate had the same one as Try. I think 4 and 4 Ultimate also did the same kind of trope. But World didn't do it. It was just, you know, the first time Basil Geese invades a quest on you, or even if you waited until after Devil Joe was released to play World, maybe he'd invade you, but they didn't have a specific quest where it surprised you. It was just like, if it happened. And so I don't know if Rise will go back to doing that little trope or not, but I kind of hope it does, because it was, you know, there's probably going to be plenty of new players who, you know, maybe they started with World and they're going to play Rise, so if they started with World, they didn't ever experience the whole invading monster when you're not ready type thing, since World didn't have it. Or maybe, you know, the Switch being as popular as it is, and Monster Hunter finally being a you know, bigger name in the West, you know, there could be plenty of people who've never played Monster Hunter still that start with Rise, and I just think it would be cool. It was such a cool thing to have happen. You're just completely unprepared, and it's I don't know, maybe it's because I like the Souls games, and, you know, it's like that wake-up call you get from New Game Plus, where you're like, I beat this game, this should be no problem, and then like you die in the first area, and you see all the messages that say welcome to Dark Souls or welcome to Demon Souls or whatever. Maybe it's just because I enjoy that I like it, but it's just cool. It's just, you get to see this big bad monster that you're not going to really be able to fight for a long time, and it puts you in your place after you just finished, low rank. It was always just a cool thing. Where is this stupid Azure Rathalos? It's probably up top, isn't it? I will say, this Rise might actually be the first Monster Hunter where I actually have a second Hunter file that gets a decent amount of playtime. Because since it's on the Switch, if I, not recording and I'm just hanging out and stuff, I could still play the game. Unlike Iceborne, where it's like if I'm downstairs, I can't play because my PC's upstairs. So if I don't have time to record and I just have time for like a hunt or two, I just couldn't play it. Whereas now, with Rise, I might actually be able to. So I might actually have a second hunter that gets as far as my primary hunter, which would be cool. Oh, there he is. I swear I was just down here, but whatever. You. That was a lot of wasted time that didn't need to be wasted. Ow. Down on the ground. Oof, that's one thing that's going to be... the one thing I liked about Clutch Claw was its ability to get monsters who fly on the ground. I wonder how I'm going to be dealing with that in Rise. I don't do a lot of the aerial mechanics so far in Rise because I'm not good at verticality. So I have a feeling I'm going to have a harder time with things like Rathalos and Kushala in Rise as opposed to how I dealt with them in World. We'll see. Maybe that's a situation where Wyvern riding will actually be something I want to do. Which, that honestly, so where the mechanic I didn't like in Iceborne was Clutch Claw, the mechanic I did not like so far in Rise is Wyvern riding. I miss old mounting, and honestly I'd be fine with no mounting either, because mounting's always kind of been one of my lesser enjoyed mechanics, but the Wyvern riding seems way too strong, and it just, similar to Clutch Claw, it completely kills the pace of combat, because it's just like, hey, you were just fighting the monster, but I could have done a thumb splitter. It's like, I know you were just hunting the monster, but now you're gonna take a moment and ride it around. And I don't know. It just, not a fan. I know there's plenty of people who think it's awesome, but I'm betting more people will think by the time we get far into Rise and it's no longer like fresh and hyped. Well, I don't know if the hype will die, but when it's less, when people are less being like excited because it's brand new, and if people start, fairly critiquing it, I'm guessing people are gonna like Wyvern riding a lot less. I have a feeling they're gonna be like, okay, much like Clutch Claw, Clutch Claw is worse because of its aim. The biggest problem with Clutch Claw is you're trying to get on the face and you end up on like the wing, and then because you're on the wing, you're going to get knocked off because you're trying to get to the face to do your stuff, because like almost everything you want to do with Clutch Claw, you do on the face. So Clutch Claw is worse, but Clutch Claw, the other problem was people hated having to wound parts, and the whole, jumping on and wounding the parts and all that, it would really pull you out of the hunt, and it would hurt the flow of how hunting worked. Wyvern riding, I think, is going to have that same problem, where it's like, oh, okay, you knocked them down. There's no way to opt out of Wyvern riding, as far as I can tell. If they get into the Wyvern riding stance, if you hit them with an attack, you're going to start a Wyvern ride. And yes, you can then just knock them into a wall and do that a couple of times, and then, you know, you dismount. But again, if our complaint is being taken out of the flow of the hunt, that does that. That's exact. Holy crap, that's a lot of mantles. But that's exactly what that does, is it takes you out of the flow of the hunt and kind of really is not ideal. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of the mechanic. We'll see how it pans out in the long run. But I really have a feeling that most people are not going to be a fan of it overall. Hey, it was a tiny Brachydios, not a giant Bomburo. That's cool. If I'm wrong, that's fine. But who knows? I think I'm right. I think people will be complaining about it in the long run, but we'll see. So far, people want people refuse so far to say anything bad about Rise, and I'm not going to take that stance. I think the game is going to be fantastic, but that doesn't, just because it's good doesn't mean that it is free from critique. All right, so next is Ballad of the Hoarfrost, and I forgot to read Alt Rock Recess, so I better do that. The monsters in the Elder's Recess are used to hanging tough, but today they're especially irritated. This could be a huge boon to our research, so suit up and head out. Client was the field team leader. Ballad of the Hoarfrost. Client is also the field team leader, and I know all these descriptions are similar, but I'm going to read them anyway. The monsters of the Reach tend to keep to themselves, but today they're at each other's throats. This could be a huge boon to our research, so suit up and head out. So this is one of the best Crown quests, because pretty much all of these monsters, well, not even pretty much, all of these monsters are Iceborne monsters, so if I don't have both crowns or for them, then all of them are useful towards completing our crowns. So we've got Beatotus, which that should be super simple if Bomburo showed us anything. Viper Tobi Kadachi, so I'm going to keep the immunity mantle because that thing's a pain if you don't. Barioth, Shrieking Legiana, which will probably be the most annoying of these five, and then Stygian Zinogre. Southern Camp's probably best because I bet Beatotus is hanging out around there. I'm gonna need... hot drink. What do I trade out for that? Seriously, what did I... Oh, it's the Stera Jerky that got traded out. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's a Stera Jerky. Okay, cool. I don't care so much about having cool drinks because my health augment on my weapon will accommodate the health loss, but I really, really, really don't like dealing with the stamina loss from being cold. So that I definitely want hot drinks to keep me from losing stamina. All right, so this should be our final crown quest, assuming there aren't other event quests that are hidden crown quests similar to the Paolumu Lullabies. If I do come across one somehow on accident, similar to the Paolumu Lullabies, I will cover it in a future video. And I'll probably do the same spiel about how it bugs me that I made that mistake and how I like showing, not telling, and apologize over and over and over again, because that's how I be. But I don't think there are any others. I really don't. Unfortunately, even if I finish all the crown quests, and by that I mean getting all the monsters that are in crown quests, getting both their crowns, we run into the issue that is, no, not the Popo. That. There we are. Okay. We run into the issue that is the monsters that don't have crown quests. So, Silver Rathalos, please stop roaring, Beatotus. Silver Rathalos, Gold Rathian, Elder Dragons, Brute Tigrex. I gotta farm all of those too. And that's gonna be frustrating to say the least. Primarily Gold Rathian, I think. Mainly because I can't do her quests quickly. She's a pain. It is crazy, though, that over the last, what has it been, 2 years? 3 years, maybe, even? At this point? Basically, for the most part. I mean, I have played some other games. Wow, he died quick. I have played other games, but mostly all I've played over, like, the last, I think it's been 3 years, has been Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. I played through Persona 5 Royal, I know. But I'm trying to think of other games that I finished during that period of time. And I can't think of any off the top of my head because this game has been so long and has taken up so much time in a good way. I mean, it's been a blast. It's my favorite game ever. So, I mean, it's a good sign it took up so much time and I enjoyed it so much. But, like, it's just crazy that it's been that long and it's had that much life to it. It's awesome. I should have done the Spirit EI Slash. I gotta get better at using Spirit EI Slash just for Rise, because, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but in Rise, the Spirit EI Slash doesn't use up a charge. Instead, if you do it correctly, you gain a charge, which is awesome. And I think the reason they did that is they knew that so many people weren't using the Spirit EI Slash because the risk, and you would basically be hurting your damage if you weren't perfect at doing it, because you drop a level of your spirit gauge and then you'd have to get that back. And it's tough to time. Like, I don't know anyone who's just like perfect at it and never screws it up. And I don't know that it's possible to be perfect at it, but because it's so difficult, in Iceborne, it's for the most part not worth doing because you're hurting your damage if you don't consistently get it right. And so now in Rise, it's a much more useful tool, and you basically want to be doing it as much as you can because it can help you increase your damage by getting your gauge up, and if you screw it up, there's no detriment other than, you know, you either missed the monster or you just timed it wrong. And if you timed it wrong, it's whatever, you know, you might still hit the monster and do damage at least, but you don't lose a gauge and, you know, hurt your damage boost if you screw it up. So it's definitely much more useful in Rise, and so I need to get better at using it. And I know that was a really weird way to say all that, but again, when I'm trying to like hunt and talk at the same time, I'm just bad at it. But yeah, Spirit EI Slash is super, super useful in Monster Hunter Rise. Oh, come on. No. Okay. It's, and that's not to say it's not useful in Iceborne, it's just not as useful because, like I said, if you screw it up, it's harming your ability to deal damage, whereas in Rise, if you screw it up, it doesn't harm your ability to do damage. If you do it right, it increases your ability to do damage. It's a much better skill. And I think it's more balanced that way because people didn't use it in Iceborne because it just, the chances of doing it correctly were much lower, and so it was more of a detriment than a positive. It was just better to just rarely use it and do other attacks to deal damage, which is not what they wanted. They wanted it to be a useful tool, so now it's going to be a much more useful tool, and I'm definitely excited for that. I carved the monster. Yeah, okay. Problem is, it's going to be a more useful tool that I'm not yet used to the timing on. I'll get there. Most of the stuff with Rise, I think, control-wise, I just need to be playing the game regularly so that the muscle memory kicks in. It's not that much different from previous Monster Hunters, but it's different enough because of the wire bug moves that I just have to adjust. In simplest terms, I'm using the left trigger a lot more than I ever do, because that's how all the wire bug moves are mapped. Wait, did that little Drake actually stagger the berry off? Really? I am not going to miss trying to do wall bounces with the Clutch Claw. I'm really not. I probably shouldn't have turned him. Yeah, he's going to miss now. Shoot. Oh well. Happens. Oh god. Also, I really like the designs of the new monsters in Rise, because, like, they're bringing back plenty of old monsters, but the new monsters are just, they seem so different from the usual design method. It's so cool. And I know, maybe you don't know this, but the method of design was to, like, have the monsters look like, Oni or yokai from Japanese folklore, which is super cool. And that's why so many of the monsters look like, you know, a kind of weird rendition of creatures that we know, is because they're meant to look like demons, basically, as well as creatures like, you know, bats and birds and things like that, but they're like a demonic version. It's crazy, and I think it's super cool. It's a nice change. I don't think I want every monster to look that way going forward, but having these monsters added into the Monster Hunter, I don't know if lore is the right word, but roster, I guess, and you know, having a single game where the new monsters are like that, and then also including the usual monsters, that's awesome. And it's just gonna help pad out future entries with more and more unique and cool monsters to hunt. The armors for all of them are starting to look really cool too. The armors and weapons, though, they still fall pretty in line with how armor and weapon designs have been in the past. Ow! Back! Ah! Stop it. Stay here. No, let me finish you off. You dick. There we go. We might run into Stygians and Ogre first. We want to plan to take on Shrieking Legiana next. Which I hunt is going to depend on whichever we run into first. You know what? It's nighttime, and we're here. I want to check for something. Might as well. Take a small detour. Oh crap! My hot drink wore off, and I wasn't paying attention. And see, that's something I'm going to miss. I know it's a silly thing to miss, but I'm going to miss hot drinks and cold drinks. And they are 100% gone from Rise. They're not coming back. What? No! That's not what I wanted. How dare you? Oh, I always hate this part. Did I do that wrong? Am I supposed to go up here? Ugh, this is always the worst. Trying to remember how to do this. I haven't done this in a while. How did I do this before? Run up. And jump back. And... oh! I almost had it. Okay. Am I okay? He didn't run on it for some reason. Is that not what I'm supposed to do? I know I'm not supposed to jump that way. Oh, I hate when I can't remember this. Oh, I am supposed to jump on that. Okay, that's my bad. Whoopsies. Okay, I'm dumb. Sorry, guys. I figured it out. I just realized I'm an idiot. Come on, Gas, send me up. I didn't mean for this to be a super long detour. Of course, I just happened to miss when the vent was going, so now we gotta wait. Really? I have the worst luck. I really do. Is there anything else around here to look at while we wait? No. Ah, there we go. Alright, cool. Some of this stuff I forget is how exactly I'm supposed to keep moving forward. I don't come up here often enough. Isn't there a wire bug or something I'm supposed to grab? Yeah, there it is. I didn't look up enough. So there's the Kushala skin. I still have to get a proper, photo of it. Maybe we'll try and do that real quick while I'm here. Is that not the right button? That's not the right button. Hang on. I gotta squirt my cat. I don't remember the button for this. Don't use these things often enough to remember. There it is. No, that's not it. It's just... whatever. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Grab it from here. It's fine. I'm sure that's still wrong, but... I keep hitting the wrong button. You know what? Why don't I do a couple while I'm here? Let's just do a couple to try and get this stupid image finally for him, because he always complains about it. He's like, that's not what I wanted. I'm like, what? How? How is it not what you wanted? Alright, give me 1 sec. My cat got in my closet. One day, I will get to be back to having videos, Oh, when did we pick up another cat? Weird. Anyway, one day, I will, get to do a video where my cats don't annoy the living heck out of me by getting into stuff they know they're not supposed to. One day. I don't know when that day will be. But one day. Okay. That's not even what I wanted to check on. That just happened to be a slight diversion, and, then my cat decided to be bad. Cool. And then I don't know if my internet went out or if the game just decided to disconnect. I haven't had one of those in a long time. This video is just falling apart real fast on me. Alright. So, I think this is the right spot. There's a rare endemic life that spawns up here, I believe. I could be completely wrong. I know I've seen posts about the thing. I know what it is. But I've never looked up where to actually get it. I just swear I remember someone taking a picture of it up here. And I know you can only catch it at night. So I figured we'd come up and look since we're at the Hoarfrost Reach. But it is not here. So... oh well. Down we go. Let's go back to hunting, shall we? Ah, why couldn't I jump farther? Let me go down there. There it is. Okay. Hey, and look it. We got a friend right there. Let's go beat him. Oh, both of them are here. Well, poop stain. Let's just let's tell Wolflebo to go away. No! I want you to go away. Thank you. Alright. Let's go fight Freezy Boy. Oh, you look big. You could be a crown. This could be a very helpful quest for my crown journey. You know, it's always funny. Wait a second. What even is this? Is it Dracophage bugs that the, Stygian Zinogre left behind somehow? Weird. Anyway, what's kind of funny is, I always imagine that, myself and my character are way more serious than I am. And so it's always funny because I'm sitting there and I'm saying things like, Freezy Boy and, all that. And I'm just like, man, so much for staying in character. But then I just realized, you know what? I might be mostly serious, but I'm plenty goofy at times. And, it just always catches me by surprise because I'm just like, man, why... if I want my character to be so serious because I want to be more serious and cool, why do I act like that? And I just realized, you're not serious and cool. You might be serious most of the time about some things, but you're a goof and you know it. Which, obviously, as I've said many times, since I am my character, that means my character's a bit of a goof, too. It's just... it's not like I want to be an edgelord or anything, but... I don't know. I always... because I was never, the cool person, I've always wished that, like, I could be. And it's like, I'm just not. And it's fine. But I just always find it funny that I'm just always like, man, I'm not good at acting like my characters themselves. And it's like, yes you are, because you are your character and you're just not what you think you are. I take myself too seriously, I think. My hot drink wore off again because I spent so much time taking pictures and looking for endemic life. Oh, I love when I time stuff right and it leads into knocking them out of the air. It's the most fun thing ever. Oh no! Ah, poop. No. Let me just... Okay, good. I barely made that in time. Ooh. Aw, really? Zinogre, did you really need to come back? No! It's the last thing I need right now. Go away. I love your music, but go away, please. I'm busy. You're staggered again. Unfortunately, I have dung pods equipped a moment ago, so kind of stuck not ramming into a wall. Oh, you're dead. Okay. That's fine. I know this is running long. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't be sorry. Maybe you're all having as much fun as I am. Who knows? You'll have to tell me in the comments, because I won't know otherwise. Alright, Stygian. Let's go. I hope you make it into Rise, or if anything, at least Rise Ultimate. Because normal Zinogre's in Rise, but Stygian, I think, is usually relegated to Master Rank / G Rank. That's another thing I wonder, is if they're going to keep calling it Master Rank, or if they'll go back to calling it G Rank. I have a feeling that they'll be calling it Master Rank, because the whole reason they called it Master Rank in Iceborne is because they thought that the title G rank would be confusing to Westerners. At least I think I remember hearing that, because the whole G term is a Japanese thing. But yeah, I don't know if Stygian will make it in. But since Standard Zinogre's in, I believe at least we should have hopes for Rise Ultimate to get Stygian. I have the coolest little keychain. I was at a convention, and there was an artist who I wish I had their card or something so that I could mention who they are. But either way, they had keychains that were double-sided, and I bought 3 from them. One is White Fatalis in normal mode, and then in armor mode. So each side is one of those. And then I got a Zinogre that on one side is standard Zinogre, and on the other side is Stygian Zinogre. And then I got a Dragonite, which is normal Dragonite on one side and shiny Dragonite on the other. And if you're wondering why Dragonite, because Dragonite's my favorite Pokemon. It has been since Red and Blue. I actually literally refuse to play Pokemon games anymore if they don't have Dragonite in them, because Dragonite's basically my only pull for Pokemon anymore. I'm not really a fan of what they've been doing with the series. Primarily, I think Mega Evolution and Gigantamax are stupid. But yeah. Oh, crap. I thought I was safe, but I was not. But yeah, so those keychains are super cool, and I love that I have them. Honestly, I wish I had the business card for that artist, not just because it'd be nice to be able to mention them in the video, but also because it'd be cool to be able to get some more from them. Where did this put me? Did I just take the wrong exit from that camp? I think I did. Yeah, I absolutely took the wrong exit from that camp. Oh well. Yeah, my hot drink wore off again. Dear Lord. No, not that. Oh, it didn't wear off. I literally fainted. I'm an idiot. It's totally my fault. I wasn't paying attention, and I was running through water and rolled way early. My cats are very vocal and very energetic today, clearly. Up we go. Change areas, right? Oh, he's already? Man, these multi-monster quests are crowns. Monsters are incredibly low health. Like, the only reason our quest is taking us almost 30 minutes is because I took that detour to check for the endemic life and take those pictures. Otherwise, you know, this would have been a very quick quest. I don't know if it was the fastest crown quest, but it is probably pretty close. Because that Viper Tobi Kadachi and that Bayo Totus died fast. Alright, and that is the final crown quest. Wow, it's an Ogre Sky Emerald, that's totally worth it. But that is the final crown quest as far as I know. Like I said, if I find out that there's another event quest that is a guaranteed crown or something like that, that I never ran, I'll make sure to do another video with it. But I don't think there is. I think that Paolumu Lullabies quest was just something I overlooked. But I don't know that I overlooked anything else. I'll make sure to check, but I don't think I missed anything else. So I think what's gonna happen is there will probably be a short break in Monster Hunter videos on the channel. While I'll still keep uploading. I still have some Demon Souls videos to edit and upload. But I think Monster Hunter will have a small break because I'm going to try and crown hunt. I'm going to spend my time trying to get the rest of these crowns done. And since we've done the crown quests, I won't be recording it. I do plan to stream some of it. One, to test my stream setup and make sure everything's good to go for Rise and stuff, because I plan to stream a lot of Rise, but just because that'll give more content to my platforms while I'm trying to finish these out. But I won't be recording crown hunting because there's no point in showing the same quests over and over and over and over and over again. And that's how it's always been with these videos. I do a quest once and then I don't show it again because I don't need to. That would get boring, and no one wants that. So there'll probably be a break, and then once I either need a break from crown hunting or finish getting the crowns, I will do the videos where we are hunting endemic life and where we are doing the feline quests. So that is, I think it's called Paw Pass, and there are little like picture quests for the felines. And that actually reminds me that let's see if we got the correct picture of that Kushala Daora skin.
I see.
So it is this. Let's see if any of these fit.
My dearest thanks.
Hey, I did it! Fulfilled all the requirements impeccably with the first one. Oh, I should have been reading those, shouldn't I? Well, okay, so he said, yes, I can't wait to see what you've brought me. Yes, this picture seems to fulfill all the requirements. There had been confirmed sightings of Kushala Daora sheddings in the old world too. That's true. That's very true. The Snowy Mountain map, I believe I mentioned this before when we originally showed this off. There was a Kushala Daora shed skin at the top of the Snowy Mountains you could go up and mine. But I never thought I'd see one for myself. How uncanny. It sends a shiver down my crooked spine. I will store your observation here for safekeeping. This research request is finished. Please take care of the other requests as well. I'm sorry. I'm so bad now because I haven't had to read dialogue in so long that I literally forgot I needed to read those. I think what I said is pretty close to what he said. He said something like impeccable. Like I said, he said, yes, I can't wait to see what you brought me. And I think he said impeccable, this fulfills all the requirements or something along those lines. So I know that's not the exact wording, but it's close. And then I read the rest. So I do apologize. I will get better, I swear. It's really because it's been so long since we've actually had dialogue to read, but I feel awful whenever I screw that up. But since I read it as it came out, like in my head, like I was reading it, you know, I know I didn't read it out loud, but I'm sure there was time for you to potentially read it, or again, you can pause the video. And like I said, what I said out loud should be pretty close to what he said anyway, so I think we've covered it. Funny thing is, unlike the last time I forgot to read something, this time I know I was paying attention because I did read it. I just didn't read it out loud. Last time I just accidentally skipped a bunch of dialogue. This time though, I actually read it. I just forgot I needed to read it out loud. So it's just kind of funny because it like the last time I had to be like, oh, don't worry. You know, I paid attention. I listened to what she had to say. I didn't cut her off or, you know, speed through her conversation. This time it was, I literally know that I sat there and I listened to what he had to say. I just, for you, the viewers, did read it out loud. Oh, man. It's so frustrating because I really want my videos to be really good. And I really want to be telling my story really well. And I keep making these dumb mistakes. And I know it's silly, but it just always it like digs into my mind and sits there and bugs me. Alright, so we got Dragon Vein Coal ×3 and some research points. And now we can store more observations. Again, it's the most useless thing for me because I don't use the observation thing at all. So, whatever. In any case, yeah, so we finally did that. I know there's some other ones we need to do on top of the feline ones. We'll get to them, I hope. They're lower on the priority list. They really are, because just getting more observation spots is not important to me. In any case, that's where we're going to end. Like I said, I'm finally done with the crown quests, so I'm going to try and grind them out and get as many crowns as I can, as quickly as I can. Again, as always, I apologize for, you know, my little mistakes here and there. I know you all understand. I know you all still, you know what's happening, and you know that our character isn't some rude dork. But still, it bothers me because I want... My whole goal is to tell a story here. Or, I guess more perfectly, to show a story here. So, I don't like making those little mistakes. So please just understand that that is not how I am actually portraying the character and all that my mistakes as the player are not the mistakes of our character here, especially since in this case I did actually read what he said. I just forgot to say it out loud. So in any case, before I get too much into a ramble here, we're already over the amount of time I like to take, so thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. You can also subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell icon to get email updates when I upload new videos, and of course you can leave any comments or suggestions in the area below the video. I have also left my Twitch and Twitter links in the description, that way you can check out those platforms if you are interested. However, that is all I have for you today, so thank you so much for watching. And as usual, this is Xephyr, signing out.